Now on CoastTV News.
Burn bans in effect. Where in Maryland outdoor fires are restricted and for how long? Bollards construction down to the final stretch in Rehoboth. Why some people there say the project is not worth the final product. And a deer disease found in Delaware. Why it's raising concern for hunters and wildlife officials here.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, and we're bracing for a healthy slice of rain over your weekend.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Our top story tonight on the national front, we're looking at wildfires in the southeast, burning tens of thousands of acres, destroying dozens of homes as firefighters struggle to contain the flames. They're fueled by the worst U.S. spring drought on record. Brian Abel has the latest from Washington.
Everything's on fire down there.
An outbreak of wildfires across Georgia, the two biggest, now scorching more than 34,000 acres across the state in the last month.
It's really sad, everybody has worked so hard for everything they have, and we're just all gonna lose it. It just doesn't feel real. Dramatic
images like this along Highway 82 prompting Georgia's governor to declare a state of emergency for more than half of the counties in the state.
In these type conditions, which is as severe as we've ever faced, any kind of spark, wind blowing embers can start new fires as much as a mile away.
Some of the worst devastation in Brantley County.
Yeah, all their stuff's gone.
Apocalyptic scenes as the fire here has destroyed more than 50 homes and thousands of structures.
My house is gone.
The flames moving so fast, some families having little time to evacuate.
It wasn't panic until we seen the fire over the tree line. I mean, it changed in a matter of 20 minutes.
Roughly 1,000 more homes still in danger with this fire alone, only about 15% contained by Thursday afternoon. Fire officials warning people in the state to exercise caution.
I will be very honest with you and say it's a miracle that we have not had any lives lost.
The widespread wildfires fueled by a historic drought. Firefighters not expected to get any help from Mother Nature until significant rain returns, forecasted for next week. Brian Abel reporting.
Now, a few counties on Maryland's lower shore are reacting to this recent dry weather. Burn bans now in place in Wicomico and Somerset counties, and they will be in effect for at least the next few days. Local fire officials say it's a preventative measure, but burn bans also serve as a firm reminder that outdoor burning, like backyard bonfires, they can quickly turn ugly, especially in certain areas.
Marshland and woodland has a high density of phragmites. It's a tall rush, and this stuff will actually burn like dry gasoline. It's hard to extinguish it. It's more of a control type fire. You let it come to you, and it takes a lot of management to put it out.
Yeah, and there are some exceptions to the burn ban, but each county has different rules. For more information, you can check out our website, coasttv.com. And vineyards across Delmarva took a harsh hit from the cold nights this week. One farmer says it's the worst frost that she's seen in her 25 years of growing. You can see these shriveled up grape buds. They're from Schmidt Farms in Queen Anne's County. The owner, Jenny Schmidt, says she thinks she lost a third to half of her crop from the frost. Schmidt says some of her grapes will still come through, and she does have crop insurance, but she says it's a loss for the local wine industry and growers across the peninsula.
It is a significant economic hit for any fruit growers, whether there's peaches or apples. I mean, every perennial crop that was in bloom or starting to bud break got hit by this across the state.
One winery owner in Frankfort says this could impact the types of local wine that's going to be available on the shelves. Since the wine for this year is already made, those impacts would likely show up in 2027. Now here's a live look outside, and we're going to turn it over to our first alert chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, for a check on our forecast. Paul, you say it's going to rain over the weekend.
Yeah, we are drastically dry, and we are in need of rain, statistically speaking. We're 1.15 inches shy of our rainfall total for the month alone, and closing in on 1 3/4 for the year. But as of right now, we're still dry in Rehoboth at 59 degrees. And we're going to stay in the mid-50s, about 56 by 3 o'clock in the morning. Really, by 1 o'clock, we'll stay there because the cloud cover that will be in place. Now, we warmed to 79 degrees for today in Georgetown, our official site, 78 in Salisbury. Now, that wasn't record-setting stuff, but it was a decent 10 degrees above the normal 69, which is what we're supposed to be for this time of the year. We're supposed to be in the upper 60s, and we are currently still in the 50s. We're at 59 in Milton, Redden. We're at 57 degrees in Gumboro, as well as Delmarva, Salisbury, Willards, and in Ocean Pines, as well as Long Deck. And we're not seeing more wind, but the winds that we've had previously, that helped dry things out a bit as well. We're getting beyond that, but we got to brace ourselves for it becoming even more dry wind coming out of the north over the next few hours, with temperatures teetering in the 50s. Now, coming up, we're going to talk about that much needed rain that we will receive over the weekend, but will it be enough to even the numbers out? That's the question we'll try to answer.
We shall see. Thank you, Paul. Well, Delaware has now confirmed its first case of chronic wasting disease in a wild white-tailed deer, marking the first known case here on Delmarva. The deer was found in Sussex County, and it's raising concern for hunters and wildlife officials across the state. Chronic wasting disease attacks the brain and the nervous system of infected animals and is always deadly in deer. David Fletcher with Nanacoke Outfitters says the focus now needs to be on awareness and protecting the local herd.
I would be willing to bet we've already had it. There's a lot of deer that carry it. So it's not as if we are kind of new to it. It's just that now we have to kind of deal with it and pay attention to it.
Maryland DNR says it has not detected chronic wasting disease in Maryland, but officials are now watching the lower shore very closely. New tonight, a lawsuit has been filed on behalf of a Delaware State University football player who says that a lack of supervision led to a locker room assault by a teammate that left him, quote, catastrophically injured. The lawsuit is against both Delaware State University and head football coach Deshaun Jackson. We do have much more on this lawsuit right now. It's over on CoastTV.com. This morning, the Rehoboth in Bloom group began repotting flowers because they say the soil has too much salt in it. The group took the soil out of the planters, and the city says Rehoboth Streets crew will be taking those planters to Lincoln Street to the Public Works facility. That's where they will be reloading the soil and then taking them back to town. Also in Rehoboth, it's almost time for the annual spring bulk cleanup. The city says you can get rid of furniture, certain appliances, e-waste, and other large, bulky items. It's for free. This is only for people who live within 1 square mile of the corporate limits of Rehoboth Beach. And the spring bulk pickup, it's scheduled for April 27th to May 1st on the south side, and then from May 4th until May 8th on the north side. And right now on the boardwalk in Rehoboth, construction crews working on the bricks around the bollards. You're looking at the bollards now. If you don't know, they're these heavy-duty metal posts. They're meant to stop any cars from driving onto the boardwalk. And as Brandon Ferguson reports, some people in the city say they welcome the metal posts, but not the noise that comes along with installing them.
Sawing into bricks as construction crews are putting the final touches on these bollards and fitting bricks around these metal posts.
It's a little bad right now, but as long as they get it done before the big crowd.
Like some things I wish would just stay the same.
Sounds of construction have taken center stage on the Rehoboth Beach boardwalk instead of seagulls and waves crashing. Cindy Wallahan has lived in the nation's summer capital her whole life. Wallahan wishes some things were just left alone.
You just want to enjoy the town and the boardwalk before all the tourists start coming. So with this noise, it's a little, disturbing.
The $1.1 million project calls for 35 bollards right here near the boardwalk and 32 more near the bathrooms where 2 swing gates will also go. Barry Duke can't wait until the bollards are done.
I thought it was a good idea so nobody comes through, and I think it'd be better for the boardwalk actually, once they get it done.
For now, fences are up as work continues on the Rehoboth Beach boardwalk.
That was Brandon Ferguson reporting. Now the goal is for all of this work to be complete by May 15th. And in Georgetown, new bollards could be coming there to the Georgetown Circle. Town manager Gene Dvornik says the Circle Advisory Committee was formed following several car crashes into the circle, and now the proposal would move the project into the planning phase with final design and bidding expected to take 6 to 8 months before construction can begin. If approved, work could start this fall and then finish by the end of the year. And we're going to check on our CoastTV poll tonight. We're asking what you think is the biggest inconvenience from the Rehoboth Beach bollard construction. Let's see, 9% say bus stop changes, 15% think the ADA access limits, 22% worried about those walking detours, but most people, has been the most popular answer all day, say the appearance. And if you haven't voted yet, please do. You can go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Well, fishing regulations are stirring up some confusion in Delaware and Maryland for sea bass and summer flounder. The rules in the state and the federal rules are not lining up. In Delaware and Maryland for sea bass, it sets the season from May 1st until December 31st. There's a daily limit of 15 fish per angler and a 12.5-inch minimum size. But the federal rules make the season shorter from May 15th until September 30th with a 5-fish limit and a 15-inch minimum size. For summer flounder, the regulations show a similar split, and state leaders say delays at the federal level are to blame. Local charter businesses say it's going to hurt them during peak season.
It's also putting us at a disadvantage because people have already started calling us, wanting refunds, wanting to know when the season's going to get straightened out. And I don't blame them.
Yeah, Maryland DNR said the mismatch is due to delays in NOAA's recreational measures setting process framework. Bunting tells us he's made efforts to contact NOAA but has not been successful. Well, at least one person is dead, 5 others injured after an apartment argument led to a shooting today at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Police say at least 5 suspects are in custody, but the investigation is still underway. Mary Bell Gonzalez has the latest.
We're not going to have this in Baton Rouge.
Gunfire sent frightened shoppers at the Mall of Louisiana running and ducking for cover Thursday afternoon.
Right about 1:22 this afternoon, we got reports of shots fired here at the mall in the food courtyard area.
Police say the shooting was targeted following an apparent argument between 2 groups of people.
Unfortunately, there were some innocent people that were in the area that might have also caused some rounds.
A mall worker describes the chaos.
They were crying and screaming, and I tried my best to calm them down.
The majority of the victims were taken to a nearby hospital.
We treated 5 victims. Unfortunately, we lost 1. The other 4 are in stable condition.
As the investigation continues, police are pleading for the public to provide any cell phone videos from the scene or information they may have about the shooting.
If you know anything, please call Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous, 344-STOP.
The shootout comes just days after 8 children died in a mass shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana. When asked about the recent violence, Baton Rouge Mayor President Sid Edwards said people have, quote, the right to be concerned.
The devil lives everywhere. And this is one of those situations, no matter how much law enforcement you got or social programs or whatever, if someone gets in their mind that they're going to do something like this, they're going to do it.
I'm Mary Bell Gonzalez reporting.
Still to come tonight, it's the NFL Draft. Now time for the Commanders, the Ravens, and the Eagles to decide who among these athletes they're going to take in the first round. DSN will tell you what our local teams decided. And coming up, Paul Williams in our CoastTV First Alert Weather Center with a look at your full forecast. But first, a lesson taking root. See how Rehoboth Beach students are celebrating Arbor Day and making their community a little greener up next.
Students in Rehoboth Beach are learning that even small voices can make a big impact, especially when it comes to protecting the environment. In today's Coastal Connections, Elisa Weber shows us how an Arbor Day event brought together students and city officials.
4th and 5th grade students from Rehoboth Elementary School came together to celebrate Arbor Day. Through songs and smiles, students shared why trees matter and all the ways they help us every day.
So we've been practicing in our classrooms the tree song, and they get excited over it. They love singing the songs.
Fifth grade teacher Tina Wright, who organized the event, says teaching kids to respect trees and nature can make a real difference.
We build a lot down here, so we lose a lot of trees, and trees are a really important part of our life. So that's what I want them to understand the importance of.
At Stokely Park in Rehoboth, students joined Mayor Stan Mills to read a proclamation to protect trees and keep planting more in the nation's summer capital.
So I want the students to feel like they're a part of everything and that they have a voice.
Grade level winners of the Delaware Forest Service's Arbor Day poster contest were also announced. This year's theme was Trees Are Terrific for People and Places. Rehoboth Beach made the perfect backdrop for the celebration. The city is marking its 35th year as a Tree City USA, an honor that highlights its commitment to planting and protecting trees.
We planted trees on the other side of our school last year, so we're trying to always spruce it up and keep the trees alive. So all the smaller trees around here are from our Arbor Days. So that's pretty exciting.
And this year, students added another tree, turning their words about the importance of trees into action, teaching the next generation about the need to protect trees. For Coastal Connections, I'm Elisa Weber.
So we enjoyed a very mild day today, and still it'll be slightly mild for tomorrow. But as we cruise into the weekend, I'm going to brace for a chance of some passing showers, particularly late Saturday going into Sunday. And believe me, although you may not want to see any rain, we actually are in great need of it. I'll show you why in a moment. So we're at 57 degrees currently in Ocean View. Dew point temperature is 51, and we're going to stay in the mid-50s for the rest of the night and mainly stay clear until about 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll start seeing a few clouds filtering into the area, but we're staying very clear at this present time. That's been the case for us. I mean, we were concerned initially with the winds. Winds have been very blustery for an extended period of time, and that helped dry things out a little bit more so. But over the peninsula, we are very quiet and dry at this point. We have a bit of a trough that's developing just to our west, but we are mild. I mean, we're at 58 degrees, for example, in Georgetown, Laurel, as well as Millsboro, and we're at 60 degrees in Lewis, 58 degrees Indian River Inlet, as well as right here in Bethany Beach. Now, we will drop to about 53, 54 degrees, generally speaking, throughout the entire peninsula, and we're going to stay quiet overnight, mainly staying pretty clear, to be quite honest. But the thing about it is this: we're expecting forward winds to push out of the east and the northeast for tomorrow. Now, we're going to be in the 60s. Yesterday, when we were looking at the same map, we were in the 70s. Today was that kind of day. Tomorrow, it's going to be a bit cool, about 9 to 10 degrees cooler. So just be prepared for that. But the winds are at least coming out of the east instead of the north. 77 for us in Seaford as well as Laurel. We should warm to about 75 degrees in Cambridge, and then we'll warm to about 72 degrees in Pocomoke City as well as Berlin, and 71 right here in Ocean City. We're going to have the winds out of the east for Friday. Temperatures in the 60s by lunchtime, and then we'll see a few sprinkles pop through. And then as we go into early morning for Saturday, we're going to see some scattered showers along the beaches. But remember, this is the winds coming out of the east, coming off the water. And then we'll see a shift with that wind, and we'll see the cloud cover staying thick for Saturday. Going into Sunday night, we'll see a good, decent slice of rain. Going to Saturday night, early Sunday morning, by 2 o'clock in the morning, we're looking for steady showers from Salisbury all the way up towards Dewey Beach as well as Lewis, and just staying convoluted in general. And we need that rain. Remember I said I'd explain it to you? Well, we're about 1.15 inches shy of our normal rainfall total for just the month alone, and we're 1.66 for the entire year, and that number's accumulating. And this is the latest with our drought meter. Abnormally dry throughout all of Sussex now, and we're at moderate drought west over towards Bucktown, over towards the Cambridge area. So everybody's in need of a little more action as far as that rain is concerned. And rainfall, well, we're going to have a 68% chance of rain on Sunday, 49 on Tuesday, 39 on Wednesday. So what about that rain? Well, Sunday we have this low pressure system is going to start circulating right here. That's going to bring in the backside here and give us a better chance of some decent showers. That's for Sunday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. But then that same low will pull off shore, and then it'll get deeper and stronger there. But then we'll be waning for our chance of any more rain. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 68 for tomorrow, and then we're in the 50s over the weekend, rain on Sunday for sure, and then we're a bit cool Monday morning, but after that we go back into the 60s.
Alrighty, thanks, Paul. Moving to sports now, all eyes are on the NFL draft tonight. People on Delmarva looking to see who the Eagles select, also the Ravens, the Commanders. The Delmarva Sports Network's Kayla Santiago has been following the draft all night. She joins us live now. Kayla.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Happy NFL draft night. I promise we'll get to your Eagles in just a little bit, but it is round one, and the Washington Commanders win at number 7. They win on the defensive side of the ball, so where did they go? The product from The Ohio State University and Sonny Styles, who was their target in the draft process. Styles is a 6'5", 244-pound athletic freak of nature who led all linebackers in combine stats. He ran the fastest 40-yard dash among linebackers at 4.46 seconds. In addition, his 43.5-inch vertical jump was the highest among linebackers. He finished his career at Ohio State with over 130 solo tackles, 9 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception. He missed just 2 tackles in 647 snaps last season. And I possibly spoke this into existence today. The Baltimore Ravens at pick 14 went with Vega Ioane for this Baltimore Ravens team. It is all about protecting Lamar Jackson and helping out Derrick Henry, the interior offensive lineman out of Penn State. The 3-year starter has size at 335 pounds and has the ability to move like a much lighter player. It's the highest Baltimore has ever selected a guard at Penn State. He developed into one of the best guards in the nation, proving consistent in both run and pass blocking. Now the moment you all have been waiting for, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now my thought, they went offensive line. They did not do that, people. They were at 23 and they traded down with their rival in the Dallas Cowboys. So where did they go at pick number 20 in the NFL draft? The Philadelphia Eagles went with wide receiver Mekhi Lemon. Now, the A.J. Brown trade is most likely to happen with this pick, but we'll wait and see. This gives Jalen Hurts another weapon. The product from USC, he's a high-skilled, high-volume slot receiver and has a ton of talent for Philadelphia. Thank you all so much for tuning in to DSN's NFL draft coverage. Christina, back to you.
Thank you. And coming up next, this week's America 250 on Delmarva. It highlights the role this industry played after the Civil War. Stay with us.
America 250 on Delmarva, brought to you by Beshi Furniture.
Canned foods are a staple in any standard pantry. And this week, we're highlighting Virginia's critical role in the commercial canning industry. After the Civil War, many self-sufficient farming families moved to more urban industrial areas. This caused the demand for canned goods to rise rapidly, and canning became a successful national industry. Virginia canneries provided critical income for farmers, factory owners, and laborers during the economically tumultuous post-Civil War period. One of the 2 major canning regions in the state was right here on the Eastern Shore. Unlike other mid-Atlantic canning states, Virginia canneries were unique in that they remained small and independently operated. By 1919, 554 canning companies operated over 600 independent factories in Virginia. Though cannery numbers dwindled in the mid-20th century, the significant role of canners played in the industrialization of agriculture remains an important part of the state's heritage.
Hold on, weren't we just here?
This is for your mom. Besides, that was for our living room, and that was summertime.
Okay. Let's look around, hon.
Ooh, come look at this one.
Why go anywhere else?
Ooh, what about this one?
Coming.
Ooh, or this one. Or this one. Or that one.
Come check out Beshi Furniture on Route 9 in Georgetown, Delaware. Why go anywhere else?
Finally tonight, the 35th Spring Fest in Ocean City. It kicked off this morning. People from all over the coast heading to OC for some live music, some crafts, and more. There's a lot going on. You can see we have video of street art. People were able to sit back and watch what was going on with that. There was also barbecue food vendors preparing top round roast, others serving up smaller snacks like jams and pretzels. We spoke to people who say they come every single year and they're going to keep coming.
Just a diversity of every, kind of knick-knack, the people, listen to some good music, We come here just about every year.
Looks like a fun time, and Springfest continues all weekend until Sunday. It runs from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And by the way, quick reminder, each and every Friday you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV. We have features, we have things to do every weekend and more, and it's all for free. Just go to coasttv.com/sign up.
In Ocean City, we're at 56 degrees at this present time. We're going to stay at about 56 degrees, even though the cloud cover is going to thicken for us. We're looking relatively clear for right now. Now, our umbrella giveaway winner is Ralph Patterson of Bridgeville. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis, Property Restoration Experts. If you want to keep up with your forecast, call our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mundales, and Federico. Finally, here's a look at your 10-day forecast. I think we're going to be okay with that 68 on Friday, but then we'll have cloudy skies, and just kind of drizzly and just kind of raw on Saturday for the whole day. And then we'll have some rain on Sunday, but we'll see some sunshine come back in style by Monday and Tuesday.
All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Thanks, Paul, and thanks to you for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. You can find more news, more weather. Just download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show is up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.